gentlemen, thank you for visiting the channel. Today we are on a quest. I'm on the hunt, ready to find the state line, the borderline of 3 states. Woo! I'm excited for this one. Come on, man, it's not every day you stand on 3 state lines, man. New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. This looks like a pretty old cemetery, man. Looks like one of them landmark cemeteries that everybody in here is like 100 years old. Yeah.
This location here was kind of difficult to get to. It was not an easy place to find.
Yeah.
I had to really put my Indiana Jones into effect and find the location. One thing I noticed off the back was that town pretty much stands in the borderline of 3 states. So you generally have 3 states of personalities forged into one big melting pot.
Nice. You can tell by the edge of this wall here that this is really old. Did we find our state lines? We found our state lines, I believe. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. I think I see it right over there. You can tell there's a lot of traffic here, but you can see here, this is New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Hold up, man, let me go chill in Jersey real quick. Who is it? You know what? Jersey's alright, but let's see the view from Pennsylvania. I am in Pennsylvania. Got good fishing going on too. The Delaware River. You know what? Let's go back to New York. There's nothing from this part right here. New York ain't about nothing. You know what? I kind of like New Jersey. I'm in Jersey. I love it. Here we go. New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. Marked all by one rock. I got up at 7 o'clock in the morning today and I said I'm going north. I've always wanted to do this monument thing. You set up little goals for yourself. I think what separates me from all the other riders is that I never use a GPS, bro. Alright? All of my riding is calculated. I know where I'm going. I know how to take the interstates. Alright? I know where's the where the nearest everything is at. And I do that because I actually study the road. Instead of following the GPS, I study the road the night before. I know where I'm going. Just like Jay-Z doesn't use paper or write down his lyrics, neither do I. The boys, they're coming from the Hawk's Nest, which is our next stop. Hawk's Nest, alright? Ladies and gentlemen, the Hawk's Nest, overlooking the Delaware River. Man, this river's looking really good right about now. It really is hot. I got long sleeves, but you know my rules. But this is the Hawk's Nest. If you look at it, it's like it's just basically a cliff. That's what the Hawk's Nest is a cliff. But it's also the rite of passage when it comes to motorcycle riding and motorcycle riders.
The Hawk's Snack was alright. It wasn't grand or it wasn't spectacular. There's a couple of loops and twisties, but to be honest, the ride there had more than enough of twisties, loops, mountains, and far as the scenic ride can see. If I had to rate this ride, I will rate it a number 4.
All I know is that there's a lot of hype about that Hawk's Nest. And I was just in Harriman State Park, and it has more twisties, maybe triple, quadruple the fun. I mean, the Hawk's Nest is nice and all of that, but it's overrated. It's a quick ride. This is why I tell you guys, do not rely on the GPS. Look, no service. So you guys that rely on that, you're done. Always study the map. Know the topographical region before you set out. You don't know what this means when they put out their hands. Alright? They're showing solidarity and respect to a fellow rider. Because going home is not guaranteed. So respect is given in that aspect. So we got a lot of showboating people that love to come over here, do the Hawk's Nest for about 3 minutes, post it, get 50,000 likes and views, and then they think they did something grand. But you know what? The Hawk's Nest was like 10 minutes away from me already. Alright? And I'm just gonna keep going and keep going and keep going, baby. And that's what we here doing. What kind of bridge is this? Roebling's Delaware Aqueduct. Got it. Whenever you see that word aqueduct, it means water transfer. Oh, wow. Nice. Huh. I like it. You see something like this, it's very serious. You know, you're in one of those towns where people was just coming here to work. That's it.
Got to go through this little natural preserve in order to get to the lighthouse. Everything out here looks dead end. They never really tell you. It's to keep people out, especially visitors. So the locals like to keep these little treasures to themselves. Swamp shit here reminds me of the Everglades, but it's just a sign that this is a very good, healthy, strong ecosystem. This is the habitat that probably raises beavers, and yeah, they need that. I believe that these ponds, these little water pockets, are made because of beavers. This is a lighthouse. This is, I guess, their interpretation of what the lighthouse is. By the way, you could go online and stay here for a couple of nights or whatever. Socrates Lighthouse, and it should be an Airbnb.
Bro, you see that building right there? This says that it's a silk mill. What the hell is a silk mill? It looked like they got a whole bunch of silkworms. They put them in prison, because this looks like Leavenworth State Prison or something like that. And they just slaving them for their silk. They are reaping the labor out of the silkworms. They got them locked up in prison-like buildings. Alright, this looks like a very, very hard state pen, not for nothing. If I was a silkworm, I don't know. I'll be producing sharp-edged silk. So last night, I got into a pretty interesting experience. I know what the death wobble feels like. If you don't know what the death wobble is, that's when you're going fast on your bike and it just starts shaking uncontrollably, looking like it wants to knock you down. But yeah, I had my bag disproportionately packed up, meaning one side was probably heavier than the other. When the wind caused it to flap around, it was taking a toll on my bike, and it looked like my bike started shaking. It looks like it wanted to knock me down. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I was really freaking scared, yo. What I did was, to let you guys know, I kind of pulled over on the side lane, but you know how the side lane has like the ruffles? That kind of straightened out the death wobble.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to Motorcyclepedia, the only motorcycle museum of its kind. Blown away by this exhibit. I thought this was going to be really boring. I see these things on YouTube, on TV all the time, and it never really catches my attention. But to be there in person, to see the artwork, the different fields, the different culture, the different lifestyles, it lets you know, man, that you're not here alone. It lets you know that you can ride whatever you want, feel however you feel, act the way you want to act. And I mean, there's no blueprint to this, man. Everything has been drawn out so that you can fill in the colors. At first, I was not impressed with the older models because they look like the modern time e-bikes. I mean, they look like the bikes that the delivery boys deliver your Chinese food on. I mean, these are the things that are a nuisance now, especially in New York State. But nevertheless, respect set in once I started reading and researching and really getting into the culture of things. Although they have all varieties of motorcycles, the one thing that stands out the most is their extensive collection of Indian motorcycles. Why bike riders say that green is bad luck. And it's because of that. It was because if you was in the army and you was in the motorcycle platoon, that means that your lifespan was very short. If Santa was a biker. Now you had to be a boy growing up in the 70s to actually know what the green machine is, and I've never seen one in real life. Wow. There goes the green machine right there. The ones all 70s kids play with, the one the big boys are playing with now. We're in Gotham City. Wow. Remember this bike from Prince? Check it out. This is what it sounds like when doves cry. How? Like this. Both of these bikes were featured in Easy Rider. Mr. Jane Fonda actually made a reference to the gas tank, that there was a shoelace inside the gas tank still. I wonder if it's still there. Most of these motorcycles here were featured in magazines like this one. This is real famous, very familiar. Definitely. Oh, look at this, a chariot bike. Nice. Wow, look at the V-twin of 1915. Wow. 1910 to 1917, the wheels on the Harley were white. All the rubbers were white. It was later on, after 1917, that the wheels started being blended with some type of carbon that turned the wheels black, which made it more better for the road. Imagine you're riding one of these and somebody else is having all the fun. So there is a place in history for my bike. The 2003 Harley V-Rod has made it. He made it. He made it to the top at that. Ha V-Rod. Originally, my plan was to go upstate and go fishing. But as I laid there with my fishing rod in hand, I believe I dozed off. And when I dozed off, I had this dream. It was a wooden fairy. She appeared to me, started having a conversation, talking about she wasn't going to harm me. There was only one thing that she wanted. I grasped and was like, what is it? Do you want to ride in my Harley? She said, no. I like your J's. The wooden fairy. Love my Michael Jordan sneakers.